So throughout time, a lot of things change, things adapt, things start becoming different from the norm. This is what we call switching up tradition, right? Then we have things that relatively stay the same and consistent over time, which I call maintaining tradition, right? So change in history are things that evolve over time, things that become different, things that break away from tradition, right? So continuity is what stays the same over time, keep a tradition and certain cultural customs alive over generations. So now, when we go over different events of time, it won't be as easy and simple to break down and differentiate what changed became different and how things stayed over time, right? Reason I say that is because a lot of things weren't seen. Like a lot of people don't see things happening when they happen, or won't be able to notice the change immediately because a lot of change happens slowly, gradually, right? And things that stay the same, you don't pay attention to because when things are changing around you, you don't really tend to see what stays the same and what's keeping the balance. So, yeah, so change isn't always quick. Some change is, right? So change isn't always sudden, but some change is. Some changes happen gradually, from decades to generations, while some changes can happen immediately within the next day, within the week, or within a month. So change can be loud as fuck and happen with the quickness, or it can be slow as hell, like how a lot of y'all grandmas be driving. Just depends. But continuity on my other wrist, not my hand, might not be as easily recognized. Why might that be? Because when things are constantly changing around us, we tend to overlook the things that remain the same. Like today, it seems like everything's getting more expensive. It's starting to become lower in quality, while a lot of these companies are profiting, making millions and billions of dollars, right? Off of convenience. You know what I'm saying? But it used to be a point in time where like a lot of these companies care more about quality over quantity. But today that's not the case, it seems like. But there are companies out there that do still prioritize quality over quantity. Shout out to those companies and those brands out there, you know. So the reason for change may be the reason for change depend, right? Sometimes it might be technology advancing and expanding. Like you have natural disasters like tornadoes, flooding, hurricanes, earthquakes. You got wars. You got battles and wars. You got social movements, and you have economic developments, right? Things that involve money. When money come in, sometimes a lot of things end up changing, right? So with change happening over time, we would have to look at events around that time and see like the things that was happening before, things that was happening after the event, right? And then see like what effects it had, right? The short term effects, the long term effects, right? And then, like I said, see the differences in the change, right? So we're gonna go over the things that change and stay the same throughout time. So the things that change, you got empires, kingdoms, governments, you got languages, you got ideas, infrastructures, buildings, civilizations, you got social classes, pretty much the hierarchy. Like you got, what people do for work. You got the rulers, the leaders, the politicians. You have the workers, the working class, right? And you got the poor class, people that don't work, they don't do shit, they sit on their ass, do crack, cocaine, all that. And then where am I at? And then you got technology that changes, and then you have laws, they change. You have the mentality as far as living and surviving. These are things that change due to the government structure, political structure, how things are set up, things like that. You got continuity, right? So you got long-standing traditions like religious traditions. You got Christmas, weddings, baptisms, Ramadan, a pilgrimage to Mecca, Passover, bar mitzvahs, things like that. And you got cultural values. You got power structures and political systems. So these are things that usually stay the same or usually stay similar. So some groups of people see some changes as good, progressive, while some might see it as negative or as a fucking fat ass ill because some people don't like change or certain changes. Not all change is equal. That's common sense. I don't know why I put that there. Just like everything in this world, there are always of two opposite sides that coexist with each other, right? There's no dark without light. There's no light with I'm gonna do that again. There's like everything in the world, there are always two opposite sides that have to coexist with each other, right? There's no dark without light. There's no light without dark. The next example, change cannot exist without some things staying the same. And there's things that cannot stay the same if things aren't changing, right? So when you learn about certain events, ask yourself and take notes on the things that you see that change and the things that remain the same. Keep that in mind. And that's how that's gonna go, man. We got more coming, man. And I finna keep grinding for y'all with these videos, man. Professional, we out here.